Good evening, and welcome to the Sunday Scaries. Hello, my name is John, and today, I am back from Aresia, and I am going to be playing some more of Slay the Princess by Black Tabby Games, and featuring Jonathan Sims as, well, several voices. Let's make sure everything's working technically before we jump in. I think you can hear me. Very good. Okay. Hooray! Hanapengu's here! And I think just renewed their sub. Hooray! Very nice. It's lovely. 20 months? Wow. The time, it just goes. It goes and it goes. I'm very glad to have you here, Hanapengu. I'm sad you weren't here last time for the knives. The knives was very fun. But anyway, let's load up the game.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, the thing, by the way, Hanapengu goes, yes, it is good to love Knife Princess. My favorite thing about that was the voice of the I don't know what it was called, but voice of the battle hungry, and he was just like, yes, this is everything I've ever wanted. I could never love a normal human as much as I love this creature made of knives. Let's do this. I was like, good for you, pal. Find your bliss. Oh, the stubborn. Yes, there we go. Thank you. All right. The end of the world? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But how can a princess locked away in a basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
None of that follows. But okay. Have you considered maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's been locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
Oh, hello, Miko Rems. Yes, Knife Princess does deserve to be close to the top. You are correct.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
The thorn was also extremely good. I think the thorn was the first one I ran into.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Oh, it was the stranger first. Okay, thank you. My bad. My error. I think I was just seeing stuff about the thorn on the, Steam news bulletins thing. That would have been... Yeah, anyway. Gilligan Princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it? Are we the baddies?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Now, sir, you've clearly never played Long Live the Queen. You have no idea what a princess actually does. But anyway. Oh, I don't know if I remember anything from your run on a Pengu, which is actually a great because it means that I'm not spoiled for it. But can't someone else do it?
If only that were the case. But I don't make the rules.
Don't you? Who does? May I speak to them?
I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far. But unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off.
Why?
Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Is there a rule book? May I see the rule book? Do I get some sort of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Ooh, really? This is new. Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for being such a good boy?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
I don't know, I can imagine quite a bit. Alright, I'm sold. Let's get this over with.
As long as you remain focused on your goal, it should all be smooth sailing. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
I like the one where he's just saying, no, you know what, we're skipping this first part. We're starting in the middle of the cabin. And then Aaron's just like, oh, what?
A warning, before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Very, don't believe his lies from the back of the photo in Memento kind of moment. Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
No mirror yet.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay, fam. This time, are we gonna go in with the mind to kill the princess? Or are we gonna go in with the mind to get killed by the princess? I like to take the blade ones better usually? I don't know.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without
I
it.
feel like it's useful to have a knife. Have I gone cold hard killer mode yet? Oh, yeah, where I just straight slew her? Yes, I have. Done that one. I think I was joking about it being like speed run any percent slaying the princess. And I did that one, I think, on part 1 or 2? Anyway. Part 2, maybe I did it for.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
So as for, in fact, the ones I've done so far was walk in, slay her, job's done, you're good, leave, and then like eventually get your reward of being trapped in an empty cabin forever and then have to break out. So I did that one. And then I also did the one where it's like walk in, stab, job's done. Or is it go to check on the body, get murked, and then that leads to the knives one. Because there was no option to twist the knife. And I was like, why is there no option to twist the knife? Clearly you need this. But as established before, you cannot follow the New Blood Revival rules of step 1, attack when you know she's asleep, aim for the heart and drive the blade deep. Step 2, cut off the fingers to work this effectively, bury the head and the body separately, etc.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Oh, she knows.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Sounds a little seductive this time.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
I think we're feeling a smitten run this time. We'll see. Hang on.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I'm just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Oh, I also did the one where you, like, try to leave without killing her, and he's just like, I'm sorry, I have to remove the entire rest of the world. I don't make the rules, but I have removed all of reality around you. Let's drop
Blade
it.
tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious
Clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
She looks nice here.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
You know, there was no option to continue the conversation from across the room. I guess because you didn't want to yell.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a
Excuse me.
relationship.
What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
You mean you don't know? I've been told things, but I'm not sure what to believe.
Believe me.
Why?
And do you think asking me what to believe is going to suddenly make everything crystal clear? Let's not pretend that's going to happen. As far as you're concerned, and as far as they're concerned, I'm going to say whatever I have to get out of here. That's just the dynamic of our situation.
Miko, that's very clever. I enjoy that. My little pog champ. There's people out there who think you're going to end the world. What do you have to say about that? Any comment for the audience?
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
Listen to her soften slightly.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Not a blessed thing. I do like deflect. What are you going to do if I let you out of here?
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful.
What does that mean?
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
That's interesting. No one will tell me anything. How can I trust them?
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
More importantly, they didn't tell me how.
That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
We've done that a few times, as it turns out. We had a beautiful dance involving knives.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Hey, what's your word worth?
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
Yes, it's true. None of them will explain why I am a bird. I assume I just am a bird. How long have you been down here?
Too long.
That's a weak answer. How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Tell me more.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade.
Damn, this is good. I'm sorry.
She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Wait, I missed this step. What is she suggesting? Ooh, baiting for later, eh, Miko? Alright, fair enough. Okay, we've talked enough. What are you gonna do? I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
Yeah, have you?
You know why you're here.
Do I? Oh no, this is a new and different answer. I'm going to keep you locked away down here at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do. How many times have I looped so far? I mean, like how many times have I gotten to the weird other place? At least 3? Maybe 4? I'm not sure. I'm feeling like I want to be on her side for this one, so I'll examine the chains.
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
Oh, and I did the one where you, like, clamp the one around your own neck. That was a wild one.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
So you say.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I'm gonna go check upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying around somewhere up there. And if not, maybe I can always find something to break you free.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Is that you, narrator? Hey, let me out of
Your
here!
shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
We didn't see a lock on the outside.
I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Well, I guess we're going back.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
Hey, I
I
couldn't
heard the
pick up the
door
knife.
slam.
What's going on?
They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Knowing what we know, and knowing that she can merely transform her arm into a knife and break out of the chain, why are we doing all of this?
Against your better judgment,
That's
you
a
place
sad
the
image.
blade against the
Yeah.
princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet.
Like you do. Yeah, big anime eyes, princess, quite so. The art style, however, is not feeling very anime to me. It is feeling a mixture of Don't Starve and Neurotically Yours, the one with Foamy the Psychotic Squirrel. There's your pre-YouTube web comic or web cartoon era throwback right there.
She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
Hey, you might want to get that looked at.
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Oh my gosh. Y'all are having an interesting time. This is good.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world.
It's true, you did, Hanapengu, and you did a fantastic job.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Oh, I think I've done this before.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Yeah, this is the assuming direct control part.
Watch me.
Oh, I can't choose warn her anymore because I've done that before. How rude.
You bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally. Okay. There's no going back now.
Isn't
Though
there?
the blade left a deep gash in her shoulder, she barely so much as flinches, turning around to stare at you incredulously.
Are you serious? I don't know what came over you, but if we're doing this, I guess I'll have to kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that? I can beat you to death with one. But I don't have to tell you that. I'll go ahead and show you.
Ah, you can choose to give up. That's interesting. Yeah, no, I know that it closes off ones you've already done, but anyway. It does seem a little bit like, and I will give the example of oh my gosh, season 2 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, where Discord is trying to corrupt all of the ponies to make them like behave like opposites of themselves and stuff like that, and gets to Fluttershy, and Fluttershy won't be bad no matter what he does. So eventually he just kind of assumes direct control and forces her to do the thing and turn to stone. And that's what this feels like. So
As the blade falls from your trembling hands, the princess rears back, readying a bone-shattering haymaker.
good. Do it. Stream Elements, why are you telling everybody now? That's weird.
You fall to your knees, barely able to process the ringing in your ears before she hits you again.
Well, I even did the ringing, which is strong in my headphones right now. Actually, I like that shot too. That's a good wallpaper.
Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside of you.
Ugh. Oh, that's it. Now this is why you get Jonathan Sims.
If we're lucky, the wound you manage to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she gets out.
Oh, too weak to even try fighting back. How disappointing.
Oh, we won't get to see your true form this time.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess.
Oh, she's gonna George Floyd me? That's terrible.
It can't just end like this. Right? I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're
Chapter
on a
2,
path
The
in
Tower.
the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
She's gonna kill me again.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself.
I mean, Hanapengu, the chapter said the tower, so I don't know.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
Oh, hello, Broken. Hello, Eeyore.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Joke's on you. I have anxiety. I spend my whole life second-guessing myself. Let's see here. Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
Man. I gotta tell you. And I'll shield for this now because I don't think this product is even going to last long enough to get a benefit from it, but I will mention here that Nitro Pepsi, goddamn delicious, if you can find it anywhere anymore. Anyway.
You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. Of course we died. She didn't feel pain. She didn't feel much of anything, did she? And she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless.
Yeah, you gotta wonder, like, you could have given me a heavier armament than a dagger, right?
She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
I enjoy Jonathan Sims parodying Jonathan Sims with that. It's very good.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Yeah. I think that's correct use of the begging the question fallacy, but it's a little iffy. Sorry, they're just bugging me. They're trying to figure it out. Begging the question means desperately trying to get people to avoid asking the question. It doesn't mean provoking the asking of the question, which is a common misconception. Anyway, let's see here. Is it putting enough to kill her if you just do it? Yeah, okay, fair enough.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
You know, what happens after any of us die?
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Hey, who are the people who lived there? Does Peoria, Illinois exist? Does Eau Claire, Wisconsin exist? Are they populated by human beings or by strange bird people? I have so many questions. Yes, exactly. Premise relies on its conclusion. Or, you can also it can also just kind of be assuming a fact, not an evidence, I think, would be another way to look at it. Because I don't think it has to be the conclusion specifically. But it's when the premise relies on something that is not established in its other premises.
If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains, and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end.
I mean, same yet different.
Just
but
because
yeah.
she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
Oh, it does have to presume the conclusion. I would trust Tom. He knows this better than I do. Fair enough. I misread the thing I read about it. That does happen sometimes. Oh, but does Tom know what the fallacy would be if it's assuming when its premise relies on something that is just not established, but is not specifically the conclusion? Because I feel like that's got to be another one, right? Okay, fair enough. Anyway, let's talk about this princess.
Just be quick about it.
Yeah, assumes facts not in evidence is a legal objection, but I don't know what it is as a, listed logical fallacy. I feel like it has a name. Probably in Latin, but I don't know. I like this one. To quote you from last time, she's just a princess. Why was she strong enough to beat me to death with her bare hands? Also, why is she secretly concealing a body made out of knives?
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin,
Okay, fair
and
enough.
you'll be fine. Or we could pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending that we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
Can you be so realistic? It would be way more fun.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
Ooh, sounds weird. Hey, who locked her in that basement, and what is this place?
People locked her in that basement.
Are we
and
sure?
I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate
Yeah, except
things.
when it's not. Like, sometimes there's a set of wooden walls around, and then sometimes there's infinite iterations of it. Anyway. If the people locked her away, why didn't they slay her?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special.
Oh, I'm a special
You're
boy?
the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that we get to experience painfully dying all over again.
Well, isn't that special enough? Hey, what? Excuse me. What aren't you telling me? Are you lying to me? No, he was lying then too.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. The less you know about her, the better. Like I said,
Yeah. Alright, enough of this.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Does anyone else know about this?
A warning before you go any further.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you, Miko.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Lying? Cheating? Why would she even bother? She didn't need to do anything like that last time.
Did she not lie? I guess she didn't bother to lie.
She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine. Let's just keep our wits about us. At least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him and not that whiner. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more
Ooh.
grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
That looks unstable and unsteady. I do like the tower entrance.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
Oh, and our friend the mirror is back. Lovely. He didn't
That's
say anything
because
about the
there
mirror
isn't
on the
a
wall.
mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway.
Oh, yikes.
And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse.
Says you. I want to look pretty.
For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future.
Oh, so you admit it's a grisly visage. How dare you, sir?
Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal.
Like a perfectly normal bird person.
Probably. Do you not know what we look like?
He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
I want to see how handsome I am.
Please don't. I'd rather the princess kill us again than see how dreadful we are. I care less about what we look like and more about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us?
I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do?
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Attempt to wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Well, I can see my hand.
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
This whole
Maybe
cabin
that's because you
is
haven't
different.
actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
So, like, you have to admit it's a little weird that it was a cabin on the hill a moment ago, and now it's a friggin' Zelda dungeon. Take the
You
blade.
take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
Yeah, it's true. The narrator doesn't have to do anything. He does not have to hand it to me
Huh.
at any point.
This is actually kind of nice.
What?
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
You say that every time.
Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
This doesn't seem that bad.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Dope.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Easy, Tiger.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
We go down the stairs. We jump these, like, one-person high stairs each time, which is pretty intense.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond.
So a difficult traversal challenge following entering a vast temple-like room with a booming voice. Could it be Legends of the Hidden Temple?
The princess towers
No.
over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
Yes, Miko, correct.
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
I don't like being told what to do. And I don't think this is going to go well.
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp.
Haha!
It
Yep.
clatters uselessly to the floor.
Even though I chose tighten your grip.
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us?
Yeah, what's up, dude? You're usually on my side.
I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
Who are you talking to? Because I'm in her presence.
Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
Mommy? Anyway. Ooh, I like no. No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your
Ooh,
legs
nice.
buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
Good effect.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations.
Hard to argue with her.
It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson.
I mean, what's it to us now?
You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it?
Oh, this one is for Tom, Hanapengu. But the new world is inevitable. What? Inevitable. What? Inevitable! Things are inevitably going to change. Anyway, here we go.
He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay. First things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done.
I believe he's telling me to stuff my sorries in a sack.
The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
I mean, that's sage advice. Oh, good, he did start quoting it along with me. Wonderful. Wonderful. I have questions for you before I decide to do anything.
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Alright, so just because you were just because you were alleged to be going to end the world, it doesn't mean you actually have to do it. You have the power to do whatever you choose.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
What would you have me do? What do you have planned?
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
How could those possibly be effective? Yes, thank you. If you're so powerful, why can't you just break the chains yourself? Or are they symbolic?
Don't be rude. Of course she can.
It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world.
That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
We don't really have a lot at stake here. It's already pretty much the end game.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do.
But what's it to you? I don't get it.
The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am, or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was.
Oh?
The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
Okay. So I feel like I may end up doing this one a second time and choosing the other choice later, but it's a more interesting arc if I stand up to her the second time. So I will lose this time. Say that I am yours to command.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent?
I mean, maybe.
All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say.
No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
Bro, we're not that close. I don't know if you're aware, but that little knife ain't gonna do much against her.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong. Trying to conceal
Oh, you
you
can't go
from
back to
me.
tower. That's interesting. So you only get one chance at the ending for each one of these things? That's weird.
Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
Very interesting, Anapengu. Also, this just got fascinating.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
You could do better as a scream. I know you can.
Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Ah, and now they are one.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade. All you need to do is believe it's been done.
And if I don't believe?
You poor, wretched little thing. You already do believe. You've always believed. All you have to do is open the last door to your heart. It's easy. And once you let her in, you'll be safe and free forever. Please, don't do this.
Oh, now you're the one staying now. I have to. It's over. I'm sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry about. This is how it was always going to be. And it is good. Alright, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna go sit in the corner. Let me know if we get our agency back.
Eh.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
Interesting. Loose versus free.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
What happens now?
Nothing. And then, everything.
Take your hand. Your obedient servant. Achievement unlocked. But you do not take her hand, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
It's gonna be okay. Trust me, we've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
Not really.
I don't want to look at us.
It's the end for you, but not for me. No, we'll go with I'll see you on the other side. It's gonna be okay.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. And mercy.
How do we look? You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You are nothing at all. Ooh, we've never gotten that before. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection. Oh, it's a little shadowy bird. But you mean?
I think you know what I am.
Oh, you're also a bird! Oh, hello, bird narrator. Whoop! A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and then another, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you. I do have so many questions for you, but let's see here. That's not technically a question. So let's start with that one. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you.
The narrator, yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all, an objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
Several. Hey! I didn't ask a question. I've met you many times. Have you been the same all along?
I haven't, and that's by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
Wow, that's a hell of a line. After everything you've done to us, do you think anyone deserves to live? Alright, so you do know about the looping. So many of the times I met you, you denied it as even being a possibility. Why did you lie to me? Oh, this is a good one. I like this one. The people out there beyond the walls, do they know about this? Do they know what you want me to do to them?
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end.
Huh? Well, let's ask this one, why not? And what is my true identity?
You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
Oh, fascinating. You made a god? Hey, what's the princess? Did you make her too?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can.
To put it another way, that would make her dynamism and me some sort of anti-entropy? I guess I'd be stasis, right, in that case? And you're trying to destroy entropy?
So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
Hey, yeah, if I destroy her, won't I be alone? I was alone the one time.
Yes, you will, but it will all be worth it.
It says you, jerk. I always knew I was special. I like that one there. Wow, there's so many questions to ask and not that many rooms left. Not that many shards left. Wow, so many of these are really interesting. Pretty sure death is good, actually. Important, even. I mean, these are kind of the same thing. Why would you want to rid the world of death?
If that's your belief, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you can't grasp the abject horror of dying.
That? Yeah, I'll ask this one because I do want to know. What if neither of us leave this place? Does that work? Can we just stay here together and leave the people out there alone?
It wouldn't work. Her nature as the shifting mound makes it so nothing can last forever as it is now. It wouldn't matter how long the two of you waited. Eventually she would find a way to leave. And then everything would change. Everything would face oblivion.
A scenario in which a powerful godlike being wants to stop the death of the universe, or all death in the universe. We'll worry about the details of that later. And in order to do so, conscripts another being with near godlike powers, multiple of them in fact, and forces them to battle against each other, indeed to inflict terrible harm on each other, all for the sake of all of this. There are... Spoilers for a decade-old anime, but there are some big Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica vibes from this, is all I'm saying.
Until then, the clock ticks on.
Alright, let's destroy the mirror and get on with it. You've heard enough. The narrator was right. You are the Long Quiet, a vast and nascent god, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Achievement unlocked, the Long Quiet, all of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. A dominant vessel, bring the tower to her. Achievement unlocked. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find. Well, hey, that's pretty intense.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
I'm the Long Quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the Shifting Mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
So what happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it?
I guess.
When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or Will you open the final doors to our liberation?
There's so many stories we've left unfinished. Can we really just leave?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end. Pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
Oh, I kind of like this one. If you were always going to become this, then what was the point of me doing anything? Did it even matter what roads I walked if all of them would have led to this moment?
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it.
Cheap answer.
Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
Oh, come on. Must we?
You become nothing. A black hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts. You are terrified of a power so far beyond you that it strips the meaning from your every action. But at the feet of that power, the dark parts of you cannot help but burn away. Your inadequacies reduced to cinders by the blazing light of the divine. When I proclaimed my godhood and presented you with a place by my side in my new creation, you gladly took it. Without me, there is no future to look towards. It is hope that carves meaning into consciousness.
Ooh, I won't engage with violence.
But violence has defined the flow of everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not color our conflict with fear. To question everything is to deny the proof of reality that lies in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. In believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. But even then, you remembered the impermanence of the material and watched as the walls of your prison decayed into nothing. To be impermanent is not to end, but to change. And for the world to be impermanent is to make finite the suffering of all things. Would you strip that gift away and leave them all to suffer in their permanence?
That's an interesting notion. If we are able to transcend death, then we're responsible for those it holds captive. I mean, I don't like this notion of eliminating death. I think death is an important thing. I think endings are important. I've seen The Good Place. Yeah, let's do this one. I get it. There's no need for us to keep fighting. I'll leave with you. I just don't know how.
Nothing
Through
brings
conflict,
me
we
greater
carve
joy
meaning.
than to hear those words.
Achievement unlocked.
The final piece lies with you.
Free yourself. You fall into yourself. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here, except for her, is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and bound in agonized tension to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of the construct pressing in on you, confirming you across infinite sides and infinite angles. I'm sorry, it's confining you. Anyway, you push back and strain against it, but it does not yield.
I love you.
Take her hand. All at once, the unyielding tension breaks. You are free, and she is with you.
It's magnificent.
There are no words, no thoughts to describe this absolute reality. Something that simply is. Oh, what happens now?
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
Step into the infinite. You and she step forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contains 1,000 more. You exist, and you are aware, just as you have always been, and just as you will always be. Though conflict is in your nature, the two of you will never be alone, and the two of you will never know fear. You and she are finally home. There are no endings, only new beginnings. Whole team did a great job. Way to go, Black Tabby Games. It's true, they delivered, Miko. This is a love story. Aw, Wednesday spoons and nubs. Very cute. Hey, nice. Way to go, Hanapengu. We won't say where. Oh, well, anyway. Thank you so much for playing. As an expression of our gratitude, here's the track order for a special playlist just for you. If you'd like to take a screenshot, you can hide the UI by hitting H. Interesting. Join the Discord, join the mailing list, join the subreddit, follow us somewhere else, make your playlist, play our other game. I've played their other game, it's quite good. And return to main menu. Oh, nice, you put it in as Hanapengu. Brilliant. Smart cookie you are. Anyway. Alright, well folks, it's 6:15 and I have to end it at 7 no matter what, so I think I'm not going to start another run now. I should check the VODs for your previous streams. Oh, make sure you have the VODs uploaded to YouTube, by the way. And so that's it for this run for this time. This was a lot of fun, and I'm very glad I had folks there to see the end with me. Or an end, I guess, or an beginning. Yes, I know there is plenty left to play, so this is one we can definitely come back to. But for now, I'm going to call it here. I'm going to go prep for my tabletop game about people getting attacked by sharks, so it'll be a good time. Hopefully I should be able to do next week as well. We'll see how it goes. And until next time, good night out there, whatever you are.